Hello, and welcome back to me playing this game and recording it to put on YouTube. Yay. I am in pretty high spirits because I just finished my epic Gwent quest. Like I said at the end of said epic Gwent quest, I didn't know if I would ever actually get myself to do it. I wanted to do it, I was thinking about doing it, but I didn't know if I would actually go and do it, and I actually went and did it. And I am pretty pleased with myself. Not so much because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna totally rock everybody in Gwent for the rest of the game now. But just because I made myself do it, dude. I don't normally, I wouldn't say I don't normally, but I find I often don't actually go through with promises like that I make to myself. What? Really? You guys are back? Seriously? Come on then. I said come on then. That means you come here. You come here. Oh, almost didn't see you there. That's not something that ever gets old. Doop-de-doop. I have no idea what that means. Like, not even a single clue. That was straight gibberish to me. But yeah, I'm normally not really good at making good on promises like that to myself. And because I just figured, oh, I'll be too lazy. I love the idea of actually going around doing all the Gwent, but I don't think I'll actually do it just because it's work that I don't want to do when I could keep playing the game. But lo and behold, I went and did it. And no small part of my happiness, even though it's not the biggest part, is that I now have decent Gwent decks. I don't know. I don't think that I'm...
How many times will you ask me for fuck's sake?
What does that even mean? Calve his cows to make them give birth? Help them give birth? But I don't know, whatever. What was I saying? Oh, right. I do not think I'm actually going to bother trying to collect all the cards just because I can't. Because I missed that one part at the dance where you were, where you could and I didn't. Like they don't know? But yeah, so given that, I suppose there's not really any point in trying to collect them all, seeing as I'm entirely unable to, no matter what I do. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little miffed at myself about that, and at the game for making their cards that you only have that one window to collect. Because that is frustrating. That frustrates me when that happens in any game. Like, I'll forgive this game for it more, because it really is one of those games where your choices matter, and you've got to think, will I have the opportunity to do this later? And if not, I will have to do it. But it's still aggravating. So, you've probably noticed by now which quest I have active, and where I am walking to, / have already walked into. But yeah, I haven't necessarily, asterisks around that, I haven't necessarily decided that I want to kill King Radovid, but I did save so if everything fails and I for some reason decide, you know what, never mind, we're not doing this, I can always go back and at the very least, we're going to come see what this is all about. I'm not necessarily right now being like, yes, I'm ready to kill King Radovid, but I'm going to see what it's all about. Is that a woman in the bathtub? Okay.
Geralt, greetings. Come now, darling, don't be shy.
Yeah, sorry, but I'm here to...
Speak softly. I know very well why you're here. They await. This way, please. This way. Upstairs.
Oh, you're not coming with? Okay. Not gonna close the door behind me or anything? Rude.
She's left herself nothing. Gave every last copper to the church.
I say, I'm curious what my wife would say about that.
Bandits?
Witcher Geralt, up you go. Boss has been waiting.
If you say so.
On your way? Or will
I
you
guess
stay
just
behind?
as security.
It's far safer with you around.
Geralt, you're here. Good.
Might have chosen a more secluded spot to plot an assassination.
It's on everyone's mind. Many would like to do it so there's nothing to fear. Besides, this venue's got a tradition in this domain. Might even consider it fabled. Folker planned her revolt here. By extension, King Vrydank's murder too.
Comparing yourself to Folka? Far as I can recall, no one in Redania's annals has a bloodier reputation.
Her rebellion changed the course of history. That's what we have in common. In terms of blood, we aim only to shed Radovid's. I'm pleased you're willing to play a part. Must admit, I wasn't certain you'd show.
Well, I mean, this is the honest one.
Came by 'cause I'm curious.
But you will help.
We'll see. Need to know what you expect of me first.
Exactly.
I believe you know my associate.
Roach, you here?
Well, hey.
Retired intelligence operatives. We have a club.
Defended a king once. Ready to assassinate another now?
Not proud of it, yet. I considered all the options and found none better. Radovid's proven many times he only ever forwards his own interests. When Kedwin asked for help, he invaded. When I begged him to support Vizima's defense, he showed me the door. The war nears its end. We've come to a decisive phase. We must act quickly. I've no illusions. Only a dead Radovid means a free Temeria.
My only thing about all this is, I could be wrong, but by my understanding of things, Radovid is the only thing standing between Nilfgaard and the Northern Kingdoms, isn't he? I mean, I don't even know what state Temeria is in right now with Foltest dead. I don't remember what supposedly happened after that. I know he has a kid or two that should inherit the throne eventually, but I don't know if they're that old yet. So, I mean, if Radovid dies, where does that leave Nilfgaard? It just leaves them a free, open path to come take over, doesn't it? I mean, I guess we'll see, but for now, let's just keep going along.
How's that work? Seems to me Radovid is Temeria's ally.
Only as long as my guerrillas do what pleases him. Support his troops. Once he wins the war, he won't acknowledge the previous borders, nor wish to restore them. He dreams of a northern empire. As long as he lives, Temeria will never be free.
But we didn't bring you here to bore you with politics. Radovid's a threat to Triss and Yennefer. Remember that. That ought to interest you most.
No, I mean, he's not wrong.
All right. What do you want from me?
One of our co-conspirators ventured out to meet an informer. He's not returned, yet the plan's success hinges on what he's learned. We've got to find him. And you're the best tracker around.
Tracker, huh? Really? Anything else you can tell me? Where this associate was last seen, for instance?
He's traveling as a journeyman. Itinerant cobbler, that's his cover. He was first to venture across the Pontar. Most probably did so via the Redanian checkpoint. With a man there who should know more. Calls himself Gregor.
Let a Redanian soldier in on your plan to murder Redania's king?
You see, there are even some Redanians who cannot abide Radovid's policies. And when simple soldiers notice something's not quite right, well, then it's time to act.
Alright, there's no harm. If it's letting me say no to this, then I can assume that maybe I'll be able to say no to other things later down the line. So I suppose there's no harm in just finding this associate for them. That's not something that I will consider having blood on my hands for.
Fine. I'll talk to Gregor.
Thank you. And try not to draw too much attention, if you can. Remember, the future hinges on the success of this mission. The future of Temeria. The future of the North.
I know. I'll try not to fuck it up. See ya.
We're counting on you, Geralt.
Don't.
Anyone see you come in?
No one apart from Madame Serenity and your lackey.
Off the street, I mean.
No one. Nerves getting the better of you.
I'm not nervous, just cautious. A trait you ought to nurture as well.
I know, but I am. Go out about the streets for a time to lose any tales. I've worked in intelligence as long as you have. I need no lessons in spycraft.
That's an interesting parallel between the two of them. Anything worth seeing in here? I don't suppose there's any reason to loot any of this. Nah. Doesn't look like it. Oh. Oh, what's this guy doing here? I've already read this, but you can read it as you desire. Didn't update him. Alright, her. Gosh, where are they? Didn't miss it, did I? Oh, yes I did. Radovid burned with it particularly intense hostility, first kindled in his early childhood for the sorceress Philippa Eilhart. Rumors spoke of a special torture regimen he had prepared just for her. And while the 24 points they mentioned were surely an exaggeration, they accurately conveyed the general scale of his hatred. The terror of Radovid's reign had led not just his enemies, but also his allies and even subjects to long for his death. Alright. It'd be nice if these went to the top when they were updated. In his war of assassinations, ambushes, and night raids, Roach depended on Redanian help, though it was clear he took no pleasure from working with Radovid. Sometime later, it was revealed that Roach had took part in a conspiracy to assassinate Radovid. He had realized that once the war was over, this Mad King would offer no prospect of a free Temeria, making Roach himself a liability and potential foe. Okay, interesting. Though Geralt avoided politics like the plague, there were times when he simply couldn't avoid getting entangled. This was very much the case when Roach and Dijkstra convinced him to find their co-conspirator. The man had gone off undercover to resolve a certain matter among the Nilfgaardians and simply disappeared. Did they say it? The Nilfgaardians? I guess I missed that part. Upon finding Dijkstra mingling among the fugitive mages, then watching him assist them in their flight, Geralt got the sinking feeling the erstwhile spy would want a favor in return. Oh, that's the part I already read.
She's left herself nothing. Gave every last copper to the church.
And our guard is gone?
I'm curious what my wife would say about that.
Well. Yep, she's in the bathtub.
I was made for loving.
Good for you.
That feast the higher-ups threw, why, they had everything there. The best bistec, girls from all round town, a family of midgets,
So
and
what's
even
it
a
gonna
striped
be?
horse from lands across the sea.
I don't care either way. Now stop tittle-tattling and get to work.
I mean, just out of curiosity, why does she care about the girls from all around? Unless she's into them.